This is Olbermann versus Trump, and I'm not Trump. We have done the 50 worst Trump atrocities. Here now, the list of the 100 cringeworthiest Trump moments. Number 100, Trump claims he's been invited to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at a Yankees game. Turns out he made it up because he was jealous that Dr. Fauci threw one out at a Nationals game. Number 99, congratulates himself on winning the Bay of Pigs Award, which does not exist. Number 98, after 50,000 tweets, threatens to shut down Twitter when it tags him with a warning label. Number 97, during state visit, hits on France's First Lady Brigitte Macron. Number 96, attacks Nordstrom's because it stopped selling Ivanka's clothing line. Number 95, restricts use of fetal tissue in scientific research. Fetal tissue led to Regeneron's cocktail and remdesivir, his COVID cures. Number 94, having no idea who he was, says Frederick Douglass is, quote, an example of somebody who's done an amazing job and is being recognized more and more. Number 93, appointed his son's wedding planner as the head of federal housing in New York City. Number 92, lies as recently as July 29th that he was at ground zero on 9/11. Number 91, boasts that a tax law company has proved he had no financial ties to Russia. Turns out the company had won the award as the Russia Law Firm of the Year. Number 90, lies that the Boy Scouts had called to say his speech was the best ever given to them. Number 89, cuts $7 billion from Health and Human Services, but lets director Ben Carson spend $196,000 on lounge furniture and this lovely dining set. Number 88 asks reporter April Ryan, who is African American, if she can set up a meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus and if they are friends of hers. Number 87 cuts and pastes his thoughts and prayers tweet from the previous mass shooting and sends it out for the new mass shooting without changing the name of the city. Number 86 gets nitwit daughter identified in Republican convention guide as the Honorable Ivanka Trump. Number 85 tries to repeal the Johnson Act so evangelical nutjob churches can be both political and tax exempt. Number 84 strategizes with the Japanese premier about North Korea in the middle of the packed public dining area at Mar-a-Lago. Number 83, after a White House intern wrestles a mic away from a reporter, issues doctored video, making it look like the reporter wrestled it away from the intern. Number 82, cancels military flight to inspect Afghanistan for the Speaker of the House. Number 81, after the police fracture the skull of a 75-year-old protester in Buffalo, claims the man dived, might be an Antifa fraud guy, and, quote, could be a setup. Number 80, tells Homeland Security officials to make positive statements about the Kenosha terrorist Kyle Rittenhouse. Number 79, as Obama publicly wishes him a quick recovery from COVID, his campaign blasts fundraising email referencing lying Obama. Number 78, retaliates for New York letting immigrants get driver's licenses by blocking New Yorkers from enrolling in the Trusted Traveler programs. Number 77, advocates for the death penalty for anybody selling any drugs. Number 76, ordered to dissolve his charity and to pay $2 million in damages for taking funds raised during a telethon for veterans and spending them instead on his own campaign. Number 75, hosts of his indoor rally in Tulsa in June put social distancing stickers on the seats. Campaign staff removes them. Number 74, Tulsa attendee Herman Cain gets COVID-19 and dies. Number 73, campaign keeps using Cain's account, so a month after his own death, Cain tweets, it looks like the virus is not as deadly as first believed. Number 72, changes FCC rules so the right-wing propaganda company Sinclair can buy the Tribune TV stations. Number 71, claims he can hand out automatic prison sentences to anybody attacking federal monuments. Number 70, says the Civil War could have been worked out by Andrew Jackson, who died 16 years before it started. Number 69, insists 1918 Spanish flu ended the Second World War in 1945. Number 68, endorses the Georgia congressional QAnon candidate who claims Obama used MS-13 gang members to kill Seth Rich and claims the Clintons killed JFK Jr. Number 67, pushes to relax restrictions on low-flow shower heads because they keep him from washing his hair properly. Number 66, his Pentagon training manuals refer to journalists as, quote, adversaries. Number 65, denies he had any mini strokes, even though nobody had claimed he had had any mini strokes. Number 64, retweets anti-mask video from crazy woman who believes endometriosis is caused by having sex with demons. Number 63, eliminates ethics training for incoming White House staff. Number 62, claims doctors and hospitals make more money if they list the cause of death as COVID-19. Number 61, after the Parkland massacre, tweets FBI couldn't capture the school shooter because it was, quote, spending too much time on the Russia investigation. Number 60, allows hunters to import trophies from endangered African elephants. Number 59, feeds anti-Semitism and QAnon bullshit by claiming George Soros played for the protesters. Number 58, spends 1/3 of his first year in office at a property bearing his name or one he owns. Number 57, claims that if what he told Bob Woodward about COVID-19 was bad, it's Woodward's fault for not revealing it earlier. Number 56, renews the contracts with the for-profit prisons, ending the phase-out. Number 55, demands the Pentagon increase the nuclear stockpile by a factor of 10 and then claims he has built a new secret nuclear weapons system. Number 54, demands an apology from the African-American stock car driver Bubba Wallace because a noose was hung in a garage assigned to Bubba Wallace. Number 53, plans $30 million Korean-style military parade in Washington with tanks, but without injured veterans because who wants to see them? Number 52, insists on 150 different occasions that he passed the Veterans Choice Health Care Act that actually passed in the year 2014. Number 51, confronted by a reporter about the Veterans Choice Act passing in 2014, he ends the news conference and storms out. Number 50, complains Iowa newspapers covered flooding there instead of covering his Nobel Prize nomination. Number 49, the 2017 and 2018 Nobel Prize nominations turn out to be forged. The 2020 nomination turns out to have been submitted by a Norwegian white supremacist. Number 48, Time magazine names Greta Thunberg Person of the Year instead of him, and he childishly tweets, so ridiculous, Greta must work on her anger management problem. Number 47, fires 46 U.S. prosecutors, including one who's proceeding against Rupert Murdoch and Rudy Giuliani. Number 46, fires inspector generals in various departments and replaces them with political hacks. Number 45, cuts corporate tax rates to the lowest level since 1939. Number 44, refuses to discuss renaming American military bases that are named after Civil War traitors. Number 43, after mass shootings, repeatedly defends gun rights and attacks the victims. Number 42, announces the next G7 summit will be held at one of his golf courses. Number 41, at the NATO summit, pushes the Prime Minister of Montenegro out of the way so he can stand in the front row for the picture. Number 40, after the United Nations General Assembly laughed at him praising himself, he claims they were laughing with him. Number 39, his slave Tucker Carlson promises a Biden expose and conclusive new documents, only to claim the next night that the documents were lost in the mail and nobody made copies. Number 38, claims all Haitians have AIDS. Number 37, complains the White House air conditioning is either, quote, freezing or hot. Blames Obama, demands an investigation, and is then told the system was rebuilt after he took office. Number 36, appoints voter fraud investigation under Kansas lunatic Chris Kobach. Panel dissolves having found no fraud, but being investigated for fraud, misappropriation of funds. Number 35, in speech to United Nations, praises the healthcare system in the nation of Nambia. There is no nation of Nambia. Number 34, erases LGBTQ questions from the 2020 census, tries to add citizenship questions in their place. Number 33, hates clean energy because he thinks if it's not windy enough, the lights will go out, because he was told windmills cause cancer, because he says wind turbines kill all the birds, even though 100 times as many birds are killed colliding with overhead power lines. Number 32, in a speech to cops, he encourages them to beat up suspects. Number 31, in a call to the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson after his death in Niger, forgets the man's name. After the widow complains, he calls her a liar. Number 30, shown on the big video screen at his rally in Lansing, Michigan, only from the nose to the hairline, just like the photos of Big Brother in George Orwell's 1984. Number 29 recalls the graduating cadets to West Point to listen to his speech. 16 of them get COVID-19. Number 28, asked by Hannity what his second-term priorities would be, he can't think of any. Number 27, on Rosh Hashanah, calls Jewish American leaders, quote, "We love your country." Number 26, during meeting with congressional leaders, calls El Salvador, Haiti, and several African nations, quote, "shithole countries," unquote. Number 25, issues 2 executive orders to make it easier to fire career civil service staffers. Number 24, says in June 2019 that if offered dirt on a Democratic presidential candidate, quote, "I think I'd take it." Number 23, sells oil and gas leases in the National Wildlife Refuge in Alaska. Number 22, pushes chloroquine as a COVID cure, while his cronies are heavily invested in chloroquine. Number 21, records a video touting remdesivir and the Regeneron cocktail as COVID cures when he had owned stock in both of the companies. Number 20, his campaign ads on Facebook feature an inverted red triangle, the Nazi symbol for enemies of the state. Number 19, complains that the checks and balances in the Constitution are archaic and must be eliminated for the good of the nation. Number 18, tells Homeland Security staffers to watch Lou Dobbs every night and do whatever Lou says. Number 17, lies that he actually won the popular vote in 2016 because 3 million Clinton votes were illegal. Number 16, confuses the terms herd immunity and herd mentality. Number 15, crashes the economy during COVID-19. 22 million jobs vanish. As employers add a few back, he boasts about all the new jobs he's creating. Number 14, at a July 4th rally, says Americans took over the airports during the Revolutionary War. Number 13, claims we've only gotten more COVID-19 cases because we've done too much testing. Number 12, during hurricane briefings, asks why they aren't dropping nuclear weapons inside the storms to disperse them. This is the actual plot of the movie Sharknado 3. Number 11, makes Alex Acosta labor secretary, who then quits because, as a Florida prosecutor, he violated the rights of victims in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case. Number 10, appoints William Barr attorney general, whose father retired as a prep school headmaster just as his school was hiring Trump's future friend Jeffrey Epstein as a teacher. Number 9, Jeffrey Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell is arrested and Trump wishes her well. Number 8, abandons the Kurds to be slaughtered by Turkey. Explains it's not like the Kurds fought with us in World War II, except no, actually the Kurds did fight with us in World War II. Number 7, gets the Justice Department to try to drop the case against Michael Flynn after Flynn confessed. Commutes the sentence of Roger Stone, pardons Joe Arpaio, Scooter Libby, Bernie Kerik, Dinesh D'Souza, and of course, Vladimir Putin. Number 6, has the HHS department take $300 million in COVID-19 stimulus money and use it to make commercials with Dennis Quaid about how well Trump had handled the pandemic. Number 5, brings the Hungarian strongman Viktor Orban to the White House, invites the Philippines dictator Duterte to the White House, invites the Taliban to Camp David 4 days before the 9/11 anniversary. Number 4, leaves his COVID-19 sickbed to be driven past the Nazis waiting outside to wave to him. Number 3, claims he is omnipotent, saying, quote, "I have an Article 2 where I have the right to do whatever I want as president." Number 2, blames his case of COVID-19 infection on hugs from Gold Star families. And number 1, stares into a goddamned eclipse. Good night and good luck.